So I'm about ready to start a new school year, and on Google Classroom I have a little cleaning up to do. I want to get rid of some of my old classes that I no longer have students for, and I need to have those classes for a new semester as well. So I'm going to come up here to these three horizontal lines, make sure I'm on classes, which I am, and these cards should show you all the classes you are involved with. Now these first two for me have a little picture by them, and that tells me simply that I'm a student in those classes. If I come up here to the three dots, I can move these classes or I can unenroll from those classes, but I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to move them. I'm going to click and drag them to the end so they're out of the way. And the rest of these classes should be ones that I'm teachers for. Now, I no longer have students in these classes, so I want to get rid of them so they're not in my way. And Google Classroom gives you the option to archive them. Up here at the three dots, down at the bottom, you can archive them. When you push it, it reminds you that when you archive them, they cannot be updated anymore. But it also tells you at the bottom that any of the assignments that I made for that class will be kept in Google Drive, so they're not gone forever. So I'm going to push archive for that student, that class of 43 students, and this one for 53 students. And this last class, I need to archive of 75 students. Now they're not gone forever. Google Classroom keeps them under this menu here of three horizontal lines down at the bottom, archived classes. And if I go in there, these classes, I can still look at them, I can see the assignments, I just can't update them. There's a few options that you have though. If you decide you actually need that class again or you need to update the grades for some reason, under the three dots, it allows you to restore them. And so if I push restore on this class, you can interact with all the students again, and if I go back to classes, here it is. Okay? I'm going to move it back to archive just because I don't need it anymore. If I go back to archive classes, I realize that while I don't have these students anymore, I still teach these exact same classes, and I want a lot of the classwork that's in them. And so Google Classroom lets you copy everything that's in those classes. So if I come up to the three dots, I can copy it. When I push copy, it lets you rename it. So I'm not going to name it copy, but I will change the school year, which will be 2021 for me. And up here it reminds you that it's only going to copy the topics and all of the classwork. And it will be saved as a draft so that you can change the dates and all that later. But it also tells you that it will not copy all the people that's in it and any of the announcements that you may have made. So I'm going to copy this class. It takes a while. And when it's done copying, I come back up here to my classes, and here it is as a new class. And if I click on it, it should have all my classwork for me to be able to use. It'll be saved as a draft. If I come back to my archive classes, aside from copying and restoring classes, it also allows you to delete them altogether. If I delete them, it'll be gone forever. I won't be able to go back inside of the class. However, if I delete it, all of the classwork that I made for that class will still be on Google Drive. So it's not lost forever. It's just you will not have access to this class anymore. And those are some options for starting a new school year when you don't need the old classes, but you want some new classes, and yet you don't want to have to reinvent the wheel and create all new assignments and add them. Google Classroom has lots of options. So thank you very much, everyone.